Welcome back to CTN. I'm your host, Robert Van Sluten. This episode, we're going to talk about custom views. In the last episode, we simply dragged a UI view out of the library and plunked it down on a black background view. Now, if you want this subview to be customized, in other words, you want to write special drawing code, for example, you have to begin by writing a .m and a .h to define the subclass. Now the first step in doing that is you got to create the .m and .h files. Now you can easily do that if you go to the project or the file menu and you select new file. Make sure you have Cocoa Touch selected. You have some choices here. What you want is an Objective-C class. It wants a name, so we'll call it CTN view. And it wants the superclass. Now in this case, we want it to be a UI view. I've pre-selected that. If you were creating a simple Objective-C class, you could make the superclass NS object. Let's not worry about these checkboxes here. It wants a location. We're also going to put it inside the empty view group, which is the name of the project. Two files will get created, a .m and a .h. Now, this is a subclass of the UI view. If we go to the storyboard and we have the subview selected, if we go over to the right hand side and we go over to the identity inspector, you can change the class of that object, which is the subview. Now this is a little finicky because I think there's a bug, so I'm just going to pick one of these and then I'm going to type in CTN view. So when this freeze-dried object is created, its type is going to be of type CTN view. Now because it's a subclass of UI view, it's going to behave exactly like a view. We haven't added any additional code, and we won't be doing that until the next episode. What we're going to do next is actually plunk this object down, this view, programmatically. In other words, we're not going to do it graphically inside Interface Builder. We're going to write some code to actually create and place the view. Now back in the episode for view geometry, I actually showed you some code. We're going to actually do this in Xcode, but I just want to mention that after this, you finish this episode, you probably should go back and review the view geometry video. I went ahead and I removed our subview. So all we're left with is a background view that's black. I've added some code to the view controller, which we're going to go through. But first I'm going to run this. What I have is the background view with a red subview. Let's take a look at the code. I have programmatically added the subview to the background view. And view did load. I've created a rectangle located 50-50, size 200-200. Now keep in mind that these are points, not pixels. So the number of points on a retina display is the same as a non-retina display. I've defined a pointer to our CTN view class, allocated it, and initialized it with the frame created in the previous line. I've set this view's background color equal to a red color. Now, UI color is a class that has a whole bunch of capability of creating colors in different ways. One of the simplest is to just use a enumerated constant, in this case red color. And then to self.view, now this is the view controller, it has a property called view, which is the background view. I've done an add subview my view. Now a note on the color. When you create a view in this way, the default's not white, it's actually nil, so it's actually transparent. So if I did not have this background color setting, the view wouldn't be visible at all. That's it. That's all that was required. In the next episode, we'll take a look at the subclass we created and what we can do with it. Man, I'll tell you, it's been cold on occasion. One minor oversight in the last slide, I forgot to mention that you also have to import the ctnview.h file so that the .m recognizes the existence of the class. Thanks for watching.